Let's do a bottle comparison. If you follow me for a while, you know that I like a tapered nipple that passes the triangle test to promote an optimal latch. What does that mean? Well, if you make your fingers like a triangle, that nipple should touch your finger and thumb without any gap or space. This promotes a nice wide, deep latch for your baby and prevents air swallowing. So let's talk about 3 specific bottles that pass the taper test, the triangle test. We have the Lansinoh, the Gulicola, and the Pigeon. First, let's talk about Lansinoh. Lansinoh is actually bought out by Pigeon in 2004. So these bottles are made by the same company, but with slightly different manufacturing, which is why their taper looks similar and they're compatible to each other. Lansinoh is the US branding. It's also in other European countries, but it's a pretty popular company here in the US. This comes in glass and plastic options, and the nipple is fairly wide at the tip, so it does promote a nice wide latch, and it's wide at the tip. The slow flow of the Lansinoh flows very fast. It actually flows faster than a Dr. Brown's level 1. So many babies that are under 6 to 8 weeks can actually really struggle to keep up with this bottle, with lots of leaking milk or coughing and choking and gulping. It's a great bottle system for older babies, but if it's flowing too fast, you can actually use a Pigeon nipple on this bottle. The Pigeon is, again, a Japanese brand that does its manufacturing in Asia. It's the parent company of Lansinoh. There are some subtle differences in this bottle compared to Lansinoh. One of the biggest is the tip. This tip is actually narrower and smaller than the Lansinoh. For some babies it doesn't matter, but for some it could. This nipple is a little bit softer and squishier, and the Pigeon's just a little firmer, so it can keep its shape a little bit better in baby's mouth. What I do like about the Pigeon, it comes in glass and 2 different types of plastic options, but it has a much slower flow for their nipples. The super slow and slow flow nipples flow significantly faster than the Lansinoh slow. The Pigeon super slow flows a little slower than the Dr. Brown's preemie nipple. And the Pigeon slow flow is about the same as the Dr. Brown's transitional. So it's going to be at that slower end for your younger babies. So a lot of times I recommend the Pigeon for babies under 6 to 8 weeks. Has that nice tapered latch. The nipple is a good firmness to keep a good tongue cup in their mouth, and it's got good flow rates for baby to not overwhelm them too much. What about the Gulicola? Gulicola also comes in plastic and glass options, has that nice taper that passes the triangle test to promote a deep latch. Its nipple is just a little wider at the tip than the Pigeon nipple, and it's a little bit squishier than the other 2. It tends to collapse just a little more. So if I have a baby that is rolling their tongue around the Pigeon or the Lansinoh and can't really get a good tongue cup on it, but they can kind of squeeze down on the Gulicola a little, it can be a great option. But like the Lansinoh, the slow flow flows very fast. So be careful with this bottle because it's going to flow faster than the Pigeon super slow or the slow flow. This one again is easily available here in the US, and it does pass that triangle test. So 3 different taper bottles. Usually I'm starting with the Pigeon because of the slightly narrower, the texture, and the flow rates. There's some really nice flow rates on this, but for older babies, either of these can work just fine. Now you know.